Welcome everybody, how are you? Bienvenidos a todos, ¿cómo están? Okay friends, so last week we completed to create, we created all the variations for windows and also the bars. I said that I wanted to create a new variation like this window like goes like outside, something like this. But I said that maybe we can wait for a moment and we can start to create the doors. For the doors we have a special thing to consider, that remember that these houses, for all the houses, the main characteristic that you should consider is protection. That's why you can see a lot of bars, a lot of metallic pieces. So for doors, I said we don't have wooden doors for the outside. If we have wooden doors, we should always have another extra door that protects the wooden door, the main door. That is like a rule. And if you don't have two doors, you're going to have the metallic door. The thing is that hello Tanaki, welcome back to day 15. You miss a lot. I don't know if you watched the previous streamings. We talk a lot, and I explain a lot of things about the context of this project. A lot of context of this project. I was saying that we already finished the windows, and we are going to start with the doors. So for the doors, again, I don't want to change the screen, so I can continue after. In case I want to do a time lapse, I can turn off the camera and continue with the video. That's why I don't when I show my face here, I don't touch like the file. But again, you can see here in the example a door. Okay, the doors here we need metallic doors or doors that have one inside door of wooden or metal and an outside door that is going to be a protection. If that is not the case, you only need metallic doors. Okay, what else? So to start to creating that, I think that I'm going to create two variations for the walls that hold the doors. Remember, I'm talking about this, the wall. Why? Because yes, I can one door to not have any. Yes, that I was busy of moving to new. Okay. I think that those are good news, right? Don't worry. You can watch anytime you want if you want to get more about the context. Maybe about the context about telling stories, we can do that on Fridays that we have more time. I explain a lot of the politics and the reality here in my country, and explaining why I am using these houses, why we have houses like this, like looks like jails in my city, and the situation that we are right now, and how I am using that reality as an inspiration to create this zombie city that later we're going to. One of my goals is to create a game with this. This project is going to be like the reason to create a lot of other assets, a lot of characters, vehicles, weapons, a lot of things of different type of modeling, animation, a lot of things we're going to do, and all of that is going to be related to this project. Remember that I told you that this project is going to be a very, very, very long project, but we're going to stop once in a while and start a new, shorter project that later that asset or that character or whatever we create, we're going to later use for this, maybe to create the renders, animations, or maybe to create the games. So that is the thing. Basically, we are here creating a game. That is the final purpose. I don't know how to create games, just in case. I know how to export assets and prove that on game engines. That's what I know. I tried different in the past to try to learn how to create games, but I failed. I want to return, and I just create like a new plan that I'm going to start this week. And if I'm going to divide like the phases of the learning path to create games, and every time I finish like let's say stage 1, stage 2, every time I finish, I'm going to try to create a live stream for you, showing you what I learned, and we can do it together. So if I learned that completely something new, I want to show it to you. So maybe you want also, if you are interested in create games and something like that, you can follow my path. Another announcement that I want to make is that I was this weekend learning for new things, how to create content, how to create new things for the community, for the channel. And I want to start also. I thought that I think that the best option to share my notes, because I said I don't know, for the persons that were here, for the people that were here at previous projects that follow me since we started the streaming projects, the Blender sculpting streaming. You know that I always take notes of what I do, because as you can see, I try to learn a lot of things and my memory is not good, so I try to take notes. Okay, I did this, I follow this, and I want to share those notes to all of you. So I think that the best option is to use GitHub. I'm going to try I don't know how to code again, but I was looking for some options and for some alternatives or some ways to do it with GitHub. So GitHub, I think that all of you know. I wanted to do it with Notion, but I think that Notion is maybe very specific, and many people don't know Notion. But GitHub, I think that a lot of you and a lot of people that want to join to this maybe gaming or game development world use GitHub. So I want to do it in that way, but I need to learn some things, and I'm going to share like little by little. I'm going to upload the information. There is going to be simple notes, just like the steps, what is that this about, maybe some captures, and the links to the YouTube videos that I created, of course. Yes, that is what I want to do, and also another things that I was exploring, but that is not right now with this topic. So again, for the doors, I think that the best option that we can do is create the normal wall with no bevel, just only the wall like this in the window, because there we're going to use the frames for the doors and the wooden door, and then we're going to put an outside door, and the other door that is going to be like these walls, that maybe we're going to use bevels, but I can see that maybe, I don't know. No. Yes, we're good. Okay. That wall that we're going to have a bevel. I want to use bevel. If we want, we don't need to use bevel. But in this case, I'm going to use bevel. And if I don't want the bevel, the wall is simple, is very easy to create, so we don't have problems with that. Okay, that is what we're going to do. And for the variations, because here for doors, if you think that windows have a lot of different types of decorations for the windows, the same. I think that for doors you have even more. You have a lot of decorations with these bars. So we're going to try a few. First, maybe I'm going to start with a wooden door and a simple outside door protection. I think that I'm going to divide these two types of wall, different types of wooden doors with frames, different types of outside metallic doors with bars, and inside doors that are going to be metallic. So we are going to have like for three types of doors. Yes, three types of doors and two types of wall. Yes. So that is what we're going to do, what we're going to start today. Okay, so if you have any question, remember that we're going to play with I don't know, maybe here I can play with curves, and the wireframe I think that is not going to help too much, because for bars it is okay, but for this type of doors I think that the frames are not going to welcome, the frames are not going to help. Maybe we can use the wireframe for the frame of the metallic door. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Remember that I came here with ideas and I really don't know how to do it, and we just solve that by creating, doing, and say I like it, I don't like it, let's change this, let's keep this. That is the only way to do things. Okay, so let's get started. Let me turn off my camera, and remember, if you have a question, please let me know. Okay, here we have the windows. We already have all the bars. Look, different bars, different designs that we already created. Also we fixed the previous design for the window number 4, because look, the new thing that I added is this protective frame, this frame here. The previous versions for the first versions didn't have that, so I added that. I changed, look, and the only one that is with not frame is the simple one. It is directly like inserted in the frame. Okay, so that is what we have, and now we're going to start with doors. I'm going to use the same wall. Remember that this is going to be the standard wall. Later, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, because maybe now that I am using bevel for some borders, if you have corners like this, for example, in this wall, I think that we should add bevels. But to do it easier, to keep it simple, we just put like a snap it to the other pieces, and don't add anything else. That is going to be simple, and maybe that is the best option, but I don't know. I want to try the other way, or maybe I should create corners, different types of corners that we're going to use for our project, and maybe that is something. The thing is, remember that I am using textures. That is another thing that I need to consider, because trying to create multiple houses, I need to find a way to don't use too many textures. So maybe only just 2 textures, and that combination with nodes here is going to allow me to look like we have different kinds of materials. That is the thing, but here we have a lot of variations for texture, so we'll see. Okay, let's start with the door. So I'm going to keep this simple wall. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to duplicate and move it to new collection. I'm going to door wall, I don't know. Now let's hide everything that is related to windows, and we have here our, okay, the standard measures for doors. Let's bring back our character. Let me see. No, see here. This is the standard size of the door, 2 meters. But then I need to, here, let me see. I'm going to keep it at the middle to keep it simple, okay? Another thing that you should know, when you are creating games or environments for games, you don't have to follow like a specific real life scales. By that, I want to say that instead of trying to follow the exact measures, you should follow measures that in your view are going to be like make you feel that you are in real world. I don't know if you have the idea. Let's say that we're creating a first-person game. So if you have trying to follow this, let's say that this is the standard measures for the door. Maybe if you're in a first-person game, maybe it is good, or maybe not. And in the third person game, if you try to go fall through this door, maybe with your camera like this, the door is going to look like too small. I think that now you have the idea. So it is better to don't follow exactly the same real life scales, real life measurements. You should follow something that looks like that makes you feel when you are playing, or in the animation or anything that you're creating, makes you feel that you are in the real world, but not following exactly the same laws, the same rules. In this case, that I don't know yet how it's going to be the game or all of those things, I'm going to try to follow this standard, like real life scale. I'm going to say 0.5 here and 2 meters. That is going to be my standard for doors. So every time, every kind of door is going to be like this, and the only doors that are going to be different are going to be these garage doors. Look, here we have a different door. Maybe this door is a little bit wider, I don't know. I'm going to keep this as the standard scale. Look, for example, this door is bigger, is wider. No, but I want to follow a standard size. I'm going to follow this. 0.5. Or let me see. One moment. I don't know. Let me see. Here in Ecuador. If I find something here. 210. Okay, those 2.5 and 90. So 0.5 if too small. We should use another standard is range. Okay, let's follow 80 and 210. Okay, we're going to follow that. 210 and 90. Yes. Let's follow that. So let's do this again. Okay, we're good here. Let me see. So here 0.8. No, sorry, not 0.8. No, 0.8 should be, but I made the scale like this. To make this 0.8, okay. If I do this 0.5, that is 1. I don't want 0.5, I want 0.6. So with that, I have maybe a little bit wider a door. It should be smaller, but again, we should not follow like real life rules. Let me try with 0.5. 0.5, I think that is. What do you think? Which one we should use? 0.5, 0.6? Because the real should be this one, I think, and this is really weird. And here. Yes, we're going to use 0.5. 0.5 looks better. So 0.5, 1. And 210. Okay, for the height, 210 or 2. Look, this is 2. Which one do you prefer? 210 or 2? Because there we have see what 210. Maybe 210 is too big, the door. Here I think that this one is good. 2, yes, let's follow this. Okay, now that we have this, let's delete And remember, this first wall is going to be the one that we are not going to use bevel here. We're going to have frames that are going to hide anything that we have inside. Resolve edges. Okay, here we have our door. Yes, that is our, sorry, this one. Okay, here we have, let's name this door wall number 1. One more, please. Door wall 1. Let me see if I use that or another. Door wall 1, yes, okay. This is what we have. And now we need to use the wall with the bevel. What is the wall with the bevel? Let me hide this, I don't need this anymore. For now, wall with the bevel is wall number 4, for example. Look, you have bevel here. You can see we use the shader smoother and we have this nice bevel here. So how we did this, I don't remember. I should take the values, take notes about the values that I use. I don't remember. So I'm going to try to use this and move it into the right position. And I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know. Look, we create one bevel and later we use another bevel. We use double bevel. The first one with one, completely one in the, oops, I don't remember which, what value. Maybe let's try to do that again, okay, so we can follow. You can see again what I did. I'm going to use this. Let's bring our door 1, okay. I'm going to duplicate this one. Let me hide wall 1, and I'm going to use wireframes. Select this and move it to the back. The first step, and now we need to create a bevel. I think that I don't remember. Let's see the value. Profile shape. Profile shape was the thing that I wanted to set, that I used before. And here the value I don't remember. I don't remember this value. Let's see something. But here maybe we can no, because I already. No, I don't remember. I don't remember what values I use. I should took notes of the values so we follow the same standards here for the project. I don't remember what I used. And also, I use here and here too. I don't remember. No. I know. I forgot to select this one. This is very important. I forget to select that. Okay, what else? No, that's all. And okay, let me try to duplicate this one and move that corner in here, so we have like a better view. This is the corner. Great. Here, let's delete this one to the wall, and let's hide this one. Don't want to change anything. Maybe this is everything that I need, but I want to do it again so you can see the values that I use, and maybe the new ones here can see what I did. I can use this, just delete everything else and adapt it to the door, and we have what we want. Maybe I'm going to use that if the thing that I want don't work. Okay, first I create the bevel number 1. Okay, the value seems to be 0.1. 0.1 arc. Okay, 0.1. That is number 1. First step. Let me hide here this. Okay, and as you can see, by doing that, let's check both corners that everything is good. Look, everything is good. We have no problem with that. So by doing that first step, we can use shade smooth, and we are not going to have anything. But we have this weird polygon. Another thing. It doesn't matter for this kind of projects that you don't have exact 4 edges shapes, faces. At the end, everything are triangles, but I am trying to do this, so maybe if you are creating a high poly project for I don't know, for product design, for renders, and you really want high poly characteristics, this kind of things that I am doing right now is going to help you for borders especially, because right now you don't have problems, but this is not a good shape, because look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So to fix this, if we can say it like that, to fix this, we create that. Now we have 4. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the same thing to the other side. Okay, now we have no problems, everything is good. This is completely straight, and that is the first step. Okay, but let me deactivate. Here we don't have problems, but in some cases, look, maybe for this project it is everything that we need. We already have a bevel. Sometimes you only need that and use your subdivision surface modifier, and with that you fix everything. Let's see. We're not going to use this, just in case. I'm just showing you how you can work with that. Look. The important thing when you are trying to create this is not having weird shapes of like shadows here, and for example here this is not helping us. This is not helping us. Okay, but like that you have like one first thing to do, and the second thing is to add the inside bevel. Let me delete that because we're not going to use. Let me bring back the other wall that I am using as reference. Let me activate again the wireframe and this. Okay, I don't remember which one I should use. I think that this. No. This. Yes, I think that I selected everything. Here, I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, no, I remember. Let me think. No, because here I don't have corners. See? Yes, I don't have corners there. What I did, I don't remember. I used this or not? I think that no, I don't use this because then I have to divide that. Maybe there are different ways to create this. I'm just going to select these parts of the corners and use the bevel here. No, this one is not helping us. Look. Let's select this one. Let's select this one. Let's see what we have. I think that this is what I did. No. But we can use this. Let me see here, and now we are not going to use 0.5. We're not going to use 1. We're going to use 0.5. Arc. Let's use this. The loop slides. And the value, I don't remember. 0.75 is the value that I use. Okay, that value. Delete. No, I'm going to have that as a reference. Okay, this is what we have. Now I'm going to divide this. Hello Alan Boomer, welcome. We are starting with doors right now. You created some new material with animations. You right now you're going to start with your stories using animations. You think about that at weekend. Mirror. Okay, so only fix one side and then the other one. So here, 22. Here and here. I'm going to do two versions of the stories. One version will be the audio and text, and the other version will be animated. It's going to work on the project. Okay, great. Those are good news. How I did this? I don't remember. I really don't remember how I did this. Here, how I fix this part, I don't remember. I don't remember. This is not helping me. I think that, yes, like that. Yes, like that. I keep it like that. You can use different ways to do this. I chose this version. Maybe it is not good enough, I don't know. It's like the idea of doing two versions so people can enjoy the version they like. Okay, great. Maybe you can use like different playlists to organize the content. Now that I create this part, okay, like this, I am not saying that this is how you need to do to reach what I just did, but sometimes you need to play with both bevels, with a completely one and with the other one that is 0.1. You need to use both. Sometimes when you are doing again high poly, I'm talking about high poly. Now that I'm thinking, maybe I don't need all of this bevel. And you know why I am right now, I don't like this. Look. Because of this. Like these artifacts. Maybe to keep this in a better way, to do this in a better way, I should use 0.005. I don't know why I use 0.025. Maybe I did that because I want the bevel to don't like to look too close. Maybe that's why I did that. I don't remember. I already deleted that. And if you use a subdivision surface, look, everything is going to look clean. So this is what you use for high poly projects. As you can see, you don't have any artifact here of shadow. Everything is looking smooth. Of course, that depends on how many subdivisions. Here I only have this, maybe I should add more bevels and all of those things. But this is the high poly. I don't want that, I just want this one. But this part, this one is the thing that I am not 100% sure. Let me see one thing. No. We can do this. Sorry. The problem is that this is not going to be like exactly the way we want it because we are using like no, look here. I look, these things you should not have when you are creating high poly. When you have this, your model is wrong. And what happened here, what I did when I used the Gretchen, that option, the curvature, I lost the curvature, so this is like became flat, and by that it creates this strange like artifact. So I don't want problems and I want to keep it the way it looked before. And here, look, everything is flat, everything is smooth. Maybe if you come closer and something is looking not the way I want it in this part, but everything else is looking good. And again, if you are using high poly, then everything is going to look good. So no problem with that. Again, I am trying to do this to create different options. Maybe at the end I'm going to say, you know what, I don't like this, I'm going to keep it simple and just create a wall and completely flat edges. I don't know. For example, if your game or your environment is going to have this view, you don't need this. You only need the simple version, because you're not going to, your camera is not going to to focus on this. Your camera is going to focus on the way the building is going to look, and your character. Yes, so maybe I'm doing that in the wrong way. Maybe I am focusing like I am playing here. Okay, let's say that I am creating the most high poly version, if you can call it that. And if you want to keep it simple, you just use the simple one for every other. Create a simple wall is, as you can see, just create and put it in the right snap with the right vertex, and you have everything. This is the most challenging, difficult version, so you have already that. Let's create a little bit like that, just in case. Okay. Later, again, if later I don't need it, and I see that this is not necessary, because you also can have something like this if you use the shadow options here, if you play with some options here in Blender, and I don't know if in Unity you are allowed to do that. Another great way to avoid adding bevels, because by doing this you add faces, by adding polygons, is to create the textures. By the textures you can just paint some things here to make it look like with shadows, like you are having a bevel here. That is also a great way to do things. Where you can find references like that? A great example is, for example, World of Warcraft. You see that the full game, the full art is low poly. All their art, the buildings, the weapons, the characters are low poly. And how they create those good definitions, and I am talking about the game, because of course if you see the animations, those animations look like real life, and for that is a different. You have a lot of topology level there, of topology number there. But I'm talking about the game. The game, if you come close, for example, for Warcraft, the one, not World of Warcraft, or maybe World of Warcraft, you can see the details like in a low definition, but it is low poly. But how they create those amazing shadows and making the character look like they are having more topology by painting the textures, painting the shadows and all of that. In this case, now I am thinking I having a lot of thoughts about how we're going to create the textures, because the challenge that right now I have in mind is, if we are going to create a full city, not only a house, a full city, I'm talking about a full city, and my characters are going to be like this, should I need this level of detail? Maybe we can keep it simple just with this, not bevels, and let's paint. But with textures, if I want to create too many buildings, I don't want to use a lot of textures. I want to use the less textures as possible, because all the things that you add to your project, and I'm talking about images, textures in this case, assets, skeletons for the characters to make it move, animations, VFX, assets, props, all of that is going to add more weight to your project. You know what I mean? I'm talking about your project, your file size is going to be bigger. That's why when you see modern games, AAA games, when you want to download the game, it is like more than 100 gigas. That's a lot. And believe me, if you ask me, do you prefer a game like that looks like a real movie, or you prefer a great story with a low poly game? I prefer the low poly game. My computer is not going to suffer. I'm going to play. I'm going to be happy playing that. I'm going to enjoy the game, and all of those things. I think that you have the idea. So right now, I am not deciding that. But if I want to create a big game like the one that I have in mind, because all of these assets are going to be at the end for a game, I think that I need to create something in low poly that maybe not too much low poly, but also something like Fortnite, but with WoW, like a mix of that. So trying to use low poly, mid poly characters and low poly buildings and props, but with that great textures. The problem is with the textures right now, because I don't want to create textures for each building. That is going to be a lot. So maybe I need to check about trim textures and how I can reuse that with multiple assets. Yes, you think that is a better idea, right? So maybe that is going to be more challenging and more fun for me, because every challenge that is going to push me to learn something new and to try something new and to make it work, I always want that. I always open for challenges. At the end, I know that I'm going to be a better artist by that. So I think that you were the one, Tanaki, that said you should trim textures, right? You were the one at the beginning of the project. I don't remember. You were the one that suggested that. But again, if I do that, how can I reuse that for multiple buildings and to make it look... Okay, how can I make it look like there are different materials? How can I do that? Now that you made the suggestions, help me with how can we make it possible. But right now, this is not the thing that we need to care about right now. We are going in the modeling stage, so we're going to continue with this. Okay, that is also why, look, for example here, if I see these details, I don't know, I think that maybe we're going to create something like this. If we're going to create a door with this kind of details here, I don't want to use textures, because that texture is going to be only for this door, and by doing that I have to create multiple designs for unique designs of doors. So that's why I'm using right now more polygons for the buildings, but one textures for all the metal, for example, for all the metallic pieces. Right now I am thinking about all the metallic, and also another thing, this is metal, right? But this is painted metal. That means that there is not going to be shiny like metal. This is going to be also another thing that we need to consider, and the extra thing that it make this project more difficult. And I am saying all of this to all the artists that are here to help me think. Now you have to work on this. In a project that I work, the modeler uses a trim textures, and I have only one material and can optimize geometry by batching static and reduce draw calls. The draw calls are when you call multiple assets for the game, right? You are talking about, for example, instead of, if you go with your character through the map and with the camera, you only focus what you are watching at the camera, and the camera, let's say that you have a big city, and with the camera you look at this part, all the assets are going to be shown in the camera, are the ones that are going to appear. And if you move your camera like to the other direction, all of this is going like to disappear, and then are going to appear new assets of the project. By that, I think that it is one way to optimize the project, but the disadvantage is that then I think that there are the draw calls, because for this kind of environments you have the two options, the one that you are saying. You create multiple assets separated. Let's say that here we have a neighborhood. You have different houses, but all of these houses are separated assets. So by trying to, with the camera, only focusing on these houses, so all of these houses are going to disappear. That means that your computer is not going to work with too many assets in the map, right? That is one advantage. But also another thing that you have to consider is the action of making appear and disappear the assets that you are showing in the camera is also another thing that is going to make your computer work. In this case, the CPU, I think, because here I think that you are going to make work the RAM, and by saying, okay, I don't need this, please bring me these new models here because the camera is moving here. Okay, the camera rotate, let's disappear this and let's bring back these models here. That call and that all those calls are going to make your CPU. It's about bound boxes and frustum. And then is when that is the strategy that they use in the Pokemon games. I mean the new 3D games, the new for Nintendo Switch, I think. Nintendo. I don't have a Nintendo, so I don't remember the consoles. But the new 3D Pokemon games. Instead of doing that, if the character is going to explore a map, they group elements, they group buildings, and say, okay, if the character is going to be in this neighborhood, let's say, so let's group some houses and make it like one big asset. So the camera is going to charge some assets, but not all the assets of the city, and the computer doesn't have to work on calling and erasing and making disappear and appear. You work with Nintendo Switch 1. Great. So all the things that I am saying, I am right? All the things that I am saying make sense, right? Sorry, I just create assets. I don't like made a game before, so that's why I am just imagining how this works, but I just receive orders like just do this and give me the file. That is the only things that I do. That's why I don't are 100% sure about that is how it is going to work. So the things that I am saying are right. Okay, so now that you have for the other people that are here, have a better perspective of the situation. Right now I'm just creating the assets, but maybe we're going to change later. It's hard to optimize, it's great, it's weak platform. Okay, just in case this game, the one that I am creating, I'm going to create it. I'm going to create it, because every time that I want something related to my profession, I always do it. I don't know how. At the beginning, I have no idea of what I'm doing, but doing, failing, making mistakes, and they then fix that. I always got the result. So for this game, I want to do it for PC and maybe mobile, I don't know, but the main platform is going to be PC. So I think that optimization is going to be, so if it is hard to optimize in, so I'm going to follow your workflow for a moment, and let's see if because if you say that it is hard to optimize for your console, that means that you found better ways to make it work, and that means that by doing in that way I can make it work in my project, because it is going to be maybe in an easier platform, that in this case is PC. So maybe I'm going to follow your suggestions. I'm going to try to look for trim textures, and let's see. But again, the question is, okay, if I do trim textures and only one textures for, let's say in this case, neighborhood, I'm going to be limited, right? Because right now the only thing that I can do is maybe have the combination of some textures, but also I have to play with the UVs to, in this case, to make it the walls to look like different, and also changing the color. Those are the things that are going to help me right now, right? And also, for example, here again, this is an abandoned city. Yeah, it's like to make it really low poly houses models and trim textures and other things on a shader. Okay, again, I'm going right now, I'm going just to create, and later we're going to say, no, this is not working, let's change it, or okay, we keep it. That is it. All the projects that I created here in YouTube in live stream with you, sounds like both of you guys make some cool stuff. No, I just do things that I know, but Tanaki looks like he is an expert in making games. He has more experience than me in the game development world. So I'm going to follow again. Remember, I am not a pro artist. I'm just here as something that things that make cool stuff, and I want just to share with you. I am not a teacher or something like that. No. I just show you the things that I do, and you are here to suggest me, to give me feedback and help me in cases that maybe I am not doing in a great, maybe I'm not doing in a better way. Maybe you have a better way to do things, so I need to follow you. Visual General Arcade, I work there. General Arcade, let me see. Whoa, sounds interesting. Projects. Oh, look, this one looks good. This is to. No, this I don't like this game. Sorry, I don't like this one. The art, I mean, is really good. The art is really good, but the game I don't like it. You work in on Project Sunvoid. So I'm going to follow your feedback. This game is really great. I cannot see. But this is really low poly. This is what I was talking about. Look, if the game is going to look like this, you don't need to do all this bevel stuff like I was doing, because here you are not going to pay attention to close details. You just need to show the people that this makes sense. This follow like a shape. So you don't have to worry about. Maybe here this is not like 3D. This is like maybe just a plane with a texture, right? Tanaki, maybe I cannot see, and I haven't played the game. So I work on the 3D as a 3D artist and Captain Blood as a 3D artist. This one looks good. This one looks good. Look, like this. I want the art of my game like this. Look, the shaders, the things that are going to make you, because this is like some kind of, you can see the topology here, right? But the texture, the how you paint the shaders makes you makes you like the characters are 3D, are like depth. They have like all these characteristics. Something like this I want for my game, my characters. Okay, I'm going to follow your advices. But here, for example, if you ask me, here I create the asset. I don't paint it in this case. I'm going to follow this art. This is the art, but I'm going to mix like World of Warcraft, as I said, World of Warcraft and Fortnite to create the characters. But for the buildings, look, for example, I think that here you have one moment, please, one moment. Let me change, because I don't want copyright issues. Okay. So here, let's analyze this part. Look, for example, this is too low poly for me, for the buildings. I don't want it like that, my art. Or maybe at the end I'm going to do something like this. But look, why you don't see like this is just a flat, 4 faces? Because the artists that paint the textures made a great work, and lets you like make you feel like this has bevels. This is completely flat, right? In Star Wars Bounty Hunter Master I made both. Feta. Let me see. One moment. I never heard about this game. Look, I cannot open the great. Look, with the textures, it make you you are having like a lot of 3D like depth and all of that. Look, and this is simple low poly. You can see the topology here, but it is looking really good because again the textures are make you feel like this has more details. Then here, for example, all of these are textures. This is flat. Look, you really make too low poly here. Low poly. Okay, I don't want my game to look like that, but I'm going to close like this. I'm talking about the environment. Right now we are doing the environment. If it isn't of it, you may find it on YouTube. Okay. Maybe remember that on Discord we have a channel for 3D showcase. Maybe if you want, you can share with us your art station and we can look at your work. So again, the Discord is to share things. So maybe some of us can use as all of that material as an inspiration. Some artists shared their work there, and they are different kind of styles. Another thing that I want for this is to create different kind of styles. Maybe I can create a AAA character that doesn't make sense with the style of the work, but I'm going to add it just for fun. Remember here, we're going all the things that we did in this channel is to see the real work that artists do. Artists just in this case I don't have the instructions. I just have an idea. That is the most challenging thing for me, because I don't have I don't have the instructions, so I need every day to think about something, and sometimes that is not good because you want to change things once you already did something. So it is really difficult, but the good thing about that is that here in a group, as a team, you suggest things to me and I make it possible. So it is like we did things together, we do things together. That's why I like live streams, and that's why I show you something from zero, just an idea, and at the end, all the sculptors, think about the sculptors that we made. We started with an idea and at the end we made something really different, but for me a better result. I don't have I can't share Boba Fett working model by contract. Yes. Now something that can understand me. Remember that I always told you that in my portfolio I just show personal projects. I never show what I did for other people, because the same thing happened to me. And I am like, please, can I have your permission, please? Can I share this for my portfolio? And some people are like, answer you, and some others like no, or saying directly no, and to beg like that, it isn't. I just want to share it like my part. No, I am saying that I create the idea or something like that, but you just have you make a deal, so you have to follow that, you have to respect that. That's why I always, when I create something for other people, I even don't bother to ask for permission. I just directly say I am not going to think about sharing this with other, for the other ones, because I don't want to like to insist and to beg, and at the end it is like no, the answer is no. So I don't even bother to ask now. I just do receive my payment, finish the freelance project, and move forward with another thing. And all the things that you can see in my ArtStation are the things that I do as personal projects. The same thing is going to be with this. Okay, so right now that we have a better idea and we have an idea of what to do, following thanks to the suggestion of Tanaki, we're going to follow like this, but this is too low poly. I want something a little bit more detailed, But Tanaki, you have to tell me, how do you trim textures and make it work for my idea? How I'm going to make it? For example, here you have different buildings. Okay, you say trim textures. How these are different textures? Do you create textures for unique buildings? Maybe I can do that. For example, for the neighborhood buildings, I can create one textures for all the neighborhood building and just change the color. Actually, 3D artists only make a model. How to optimize it and bring it to a game is the job. Yes, my friend, but here we try to do everything. I know that when you work on a project, you just have one position, but here we are trying to do everything. Okay. okay. Don't worry. We're going to learn here the new things. That is the fun part, trying to learn new things. That's what I like about this 3D world. That I want to learn a lot of things. I don't want to focus only on one thing. I mean, if you work for companies, the best way that you have to do is just focus on one thing, because companies, it is like they are going to look to your, let's say, portfolio, and they say, okay, I'm looking for example, an animator. And if they look to your portfolio and say only animations, you are a better candidate for the position. But if you apply for the animation position, and then they look at your portfolio and you have sculptures, you have models, and you have animations, it is no. As you guys later, have to sleep for tonight. Okay, Alan Boomer, thank you. Remember that maybe in the future we're going to make some collaborations. You're going to maybe we're going to use some of your characters for this game. Right now we are only on the. Maybe today I'm going to start on creating one character. I'm going to try with my avatar to define an style. So with that, it is like the experiment. There I'm going to try to see what is going to work best, and then we're going to use that for the characters that we're going to make here on livestream. Okay, great. Remember that we're going to create a lot of things, and all of those things, vehicles, weapons, characters, all of those things are going to be related to this project. Okay, so remember that music stop. I'll take a break, just a few minutes to drink some water, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, and we'll continue. Okay, we're going to start with the wooden door, and we're going to think about the suggestion of Tanaki. Trim textures. Let's see how we can make it work for different buildings, and to make the buildings to look different, by using maybe one or two textures. Okay. And remember, for neighborhoods, because for hospitals, police station, and all of that, of course, we are going to need different textures. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. For now, you can please, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and all those things, please. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue. So now that we have the wall, let's start with the most common design. The most simple design. Let's see if we can find a wooden door. Okay, what we have here. And maybe I'm thinking that in some cases we should make these walls to open so we can go to the inside. But there is another thing. Right now we don't focus on that. We can make it like the Resident Evil 1 game, that when you open something it is like a dark view in the inside. When you like go inside, an animation, and then the door is closed and then you can see only inside. That is also a very great trick, and then you can only load in the platform the inside objects and you forget about that side. What I'm looking at. I want to create the frame of the first wall. So let's do that. Let's create something simple here. In the frame, we don't have problem with this one. Let me just select this. Look, another thing that I did not consider was maybe I should make this a little bit bigger, because the frame, I don't want to see this at the level of the frame. The frame is going to be at this level. Maybe we were going to do this a little bit bigger, but later we're just going to move a little bit. Okay, we select this. Offset edges, that's too much. We need the frame. This one looks good. 0.5. Yes, I think that 0.5 is good. Let's separate this. Now let's select this and let's close with the frame. Or no, instead of doing that, let's just select this and duplicate. And merge these two. Okay, here we have the main part of the frame, and then we're going to move it a little bit to the outside. 0.002. No, that's too much. 0.1. Yes, this one looks good. And here I'm going to make it a little bit to the inside. I'm going to leave this as backup. Or I'm going to move it to door 1 backup, I don't know. And here I'm going to make this a little bit to the inside. Let me make this for both sides. 0.01, 15, 0.015. 0.1015. Okay, we have that. Sorry. Let me see what I did. Ah, great, great. I thought that I make it in the backup. No, we're good. Okay, now we have that, and the frame, to make it a little bit special, I'm going to, let me see, I am going to, I don't want to use inset because with the, no, yes, maybe let's try with inset. Yes, insets looks good. 0.01. Definitely these parts are for a third person view of the game, or maybe first person, because we are adding details that you are not going to notice. And then I'm going to extrude that to the front again with 0.1. Great. Now it's fixed here. Let me delete this face, these two faces. Delete that. And we already have, no, we don't have, let's just select that and move it down. Great. Let me delete this part too here, because we're not going to see that. Great. The only thing that I want to do here, it's look the way I want it, but the only thing is that I don't want it to look like completely straight. I want this to be, no, this is not good. I'm going to try to do this. Maybe I don't have to do anything else, just create this one and here create this one. Yes, maybe only that, and then move it to at last, just like that. The same thing here. This is at first, okay, great. At first, then and let's delete the inner faces that we are not going to need. So we don't need this. Next, faces. Okay, by doing that, let me try to use, for example, shade smooth. I need shade smooth, but in this case I am going to use here. And remember that this is not a one piece, this is divided, the frames are divided. So keep it like that, simple. I'm going to separate this. And the same thing here. And you know what? Maybe I don't need anything else here. And that is something I need to change for the windows to reduce the level of polygons, because look, by doing that I just make this separated. I don't need to fill, because look, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. For example, look. Sorry. Okay, maybe that for the example, because right now I need to. Okay, look. Then we can just add it here. Let's say this is just for the example. Okay, like that, and yeah, like that. Look, I don't need to do that, because this already looks like separated pieces, right? Look, so maybe that is something that I need to change on the windows, because in the parts that are like this, I create those things thinking about that is going to be later a problem with the shader smooth, but no. With that we save some polygons and it doesn't affect, because we're not going to use bevel and subdivision and anything of that. If we are going to use bevel and something like that, then we have to add that, but in this case we don't need that. So let's delete it. We don't need these new faces that we created. Okay, let me just see the difference. This is how it is going to look. And now that I am here, to delete the faces. And look, the same thing. So we're going to keep it like that. We have the frame of the door, low poly, it looks good. Great. Don't need to use bevel. You already have not shade artifacts that makes you look your piece like weird. No, everything is looking good. And now let's create the door. The door, we're going to do it in the same way. The only thing is that doors are going to be a little bit in the inside. Okay, I missed something very important. I need this to be a little bit to the inside. Doors needs to be in the inside. It doesn't matter if you have frames. Frames are okay, but the doors are inside the frame. So we need to move this to the back. And let's use maybe the window is too much. Let's see. Yes, window is too much, but we're going to do it. I'm going to select this. Should I select this one? No, maybe that one no, because that one is good. One moment. I know what is the problem. Okay. The thing is that this piece maybe it is separated for a inside frame that is going to be a wooden frame, so and it is going to be that wood is going to be separated too. Yes, I know. I need to create another smaller frame here. A piece of wood. I think that I made a mistake. Not a mistake, but I know. Okay, I know what to do. I made this wrong. Sorry. This should be the part that is going to be the frame. This is going to be the piece of inner wood, just like that. So I made this wrong. I made this wrong. Let me see. This is good. This not too much. One moment, please. Here, let me think. This is good. Okay, now I need to create a piece of wood that is going to be inside this part, because these frames, I'm thinking about real life, but trying to make some detail, but keeping like again low poly. I want again to focus all of these details, try to just, for example, here wood like that, so I can reuse that wood material to other wooden parts. That's what I am trying to use more topology to, like for example this. That's what I'm trying to do. We have that small frame because in real life you have frames like that. You have these pieces, and inside you have like the frame that holds the door, or you open and close the door. That's how the doors are created. So now we need a wooden piece that is going to be a little bit closer, and that frame is going to go to the inside. So this is like an external frame of the door. Let me use this. Let me see if I can create the frame that I want, because right now it's going to be difficult. Oh no, let's forget about that. Let's use this. Now that we have exactly the starting point, I'm going to separate that, the same thing that we tried before. Okay, we have that. I'm going to apply this modifier, and here let's close this. Okay, frame. Great. Now that we have this frame, we need to select everything and make a little extra frame here inside. One moment. So this 0.4 or 5. Let's try with 5. Okay, great. Can create the offset edge to the here. We can keep it like that, simple like that. Great. Now let's delete. Let me have that. Oh, let's delete that. I'm going to select this inner frame, the original. I'm going to select that and delete the edges, and let's merge this one. And then we move this to the inside. Let me think about how many. No, let's eye by eye make it to move it to the inside. 0.5. Let's try with 0.5. No, this is 0.5. What do you think? Maybe a little bit bigger, right? 0.75. The door is going to start here, just in case. We'll move this. We're going to move this later. The door is going to start here. What do you say? We can keep it like that, 75. One moment. I'll be back in a moment. Let me check the door of my house. Yeah, 75 looks good. 75 looks good. Then if we just need a little bit, we add the other 25 and no problem with it. Okay. Remember, now that we have to separate because these are different pieces. So I'm going to do the same thing that we did before. First let me select everything to calculate outside, because let me check the face orientation, that is very important. Look, this is not good. Sorry, no. Great. Now we fix that. Okay, and again let's select everything, shader smooth. And now the door. For the door we are just going to use a simple plane, and to add the decorations of the wood and all of those things, we're going to create different another shapes. We're going to keep this separated, simple like that. Mirror, apply, and we have our door. I'm just now that I'm creating like this game, this whole all of these assets, and saying that I'm going to create a game with all of this. I remember to Lana Lux. I don't know if you know her. She's another artist. She's like started to create games like when she was 12 years old, I think. She's one of like the pro artists. I followed her like a few years ago. She streamed on Twitch, maybe here on YouTube too, but on YouTube she doesn't have too much audience. All of her community is more on Twitch. And I remember that she was creating a AAA game all by herself, because she do 3D modeling and also coding. I want to do something similar like her. That's why I'm trying to learn these new things. And maybe some of you can want something similar, I don't know. So I'm trying to cover all of those topics, and maybe you also, all of you that are starting, maybe found some inspiration by that and learned with me. I know that the only bad thing about these projects is that we only have 2 hours. That's going to extend a lot the time that we are going to have for our stream. But maybe if we are at some point that we may need some more time, maybe we can do larger streams, maybe on weekends. One weekend we can do more hours, like the full day of streaming, working on this project. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, For today, we're going to finish. We already started with the doors. We have a better view, a better perspective of what we want. Maybe I'm thinking that I should need to do this bigger. Maybe we're going to create different types of frames. This frame was a small frame. We're going to create a bigger frame. This is going to be door one. These pieces of wood are going to be for the whole doors that are going to be wooden. And remember that this is wood. That means that we need to create an extra metallic door inserted here. That is going to look awful, but that's how we are creating our project, like this. So we are going to need to create frames just as the bars that we did for the window. But the only thing here is that, remember, for bars, for windows, we use the wireframe modifier. That means, let me just bring one example. Maybe this one. Look, that means that with the wireframe modifier, I need only, it is going to be good for bars in this case. Why? Because look, the endings, the corners are like this, like triangles, are not triangles, but like that, and those make like the model to look like in 3D, and it is looking good. But for doors, we have more pieces, so maybe this we're going to use if we have a door like this one that may need some inner models. But maybe most of the cases we're just going to use straight pieces like the frame of the door. The only thing that we need to be really careful is to make it to look 3D, because here we are using shade smooth, and if we don't have something, you saw the frame at the beginning when I was just adding the edges and all of that. When I came to the frontal view, in this case, you see like it is a flat frame. That is the disadvantage of having low poly. That's why you should play with sharp edges, and maybe the textures are going to help you, of course. If you don't use the shade smooth option. If you keep everything in shade flat and start to fix those with the textures, how you're going to paint the textures, okay, you don't need to focus on that. But right now remember the idea, I just have the idea. We are creating everything by doing. We're saying okay, we're like creating the guidelines, the standards, the style that we're going to follow by doing. Right now, maybe we start with a AAA like reference, but no, now with Tanaki, with the reference of Tanaki that Tanaki gave us, we have also, I told you, I want this like some Fortnite WoW, World of Warcraft style, so we can play with that and see what is the result. That is the magic thing about live streams. Okay, so for now we're going to finish today because I need to work on the other project on Kik. We're going to start the first wooden door. I don't want that door because okay, let's use that, but I don't want that door. We're not going to do that door, or maybe yes, we can create that outside door. Remember that the doors are going to be divided maybe by frame and the inner door and the outside door. We're going to create different variations for all of these projects. And now I'm talking about this wall, because we have the other wall, and for that we need to change the designs, because the measures, the size are going to be different. So that's the only things that I wanted to say. Okay, so that's all for today, friends. We're going to continue tomorrow. Again, if I don't have any project with a difficult deadline to work, with a challenging deadline, deadline. Okay, so thank you for coming tonight, and thanks to all of you. Thank you for your support. Please remember, for all who are new, please remember to subscribe, give it a like, share this content with others, leave a comment below. You can follow me on Twitch and Kick. I am creating different projects there. Also follow my social media accounts, X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me online as Francois Cerco. If you want, you can join to our Discord server, or you can share things about 3D and 3D about 3D. About 3D, you have different channels, and there you'll find some links that you can use as the references for your projects. Some info, all of those things. If you want me to collaborate with your project as a freelancer, you can contact me. There's my email there, the social media accounts, the LinkedIn page. You can create a project on Apple and see Trader and send a message or two. Remember that you can send me a message, and then we can talk and make a deal, and I can start working different in the area that you want of your project. I can do 3D modeling, 3D sculpting, animation, some textures, all the things that you ask. What else? And if you want to know what kind of computer I'm using, you have the kit code link. That's how you're going to find all the components I use for my PC. Those links are going to send you directly to Amazon. And what else? Just to finish, if you want to support my work, remember that you have super thanks, super stickers, super chats, memberships. You also have PayPal link, and even better, you can get one of my models. If you want assets for US and animations, you can visit my Tutorials store. If you want sculptures for 3D printing, you can visit my Culture store. And also you have CG Trader, a third option. We're going to find both assets and sculptures, and now the exclusive low poly environments. Remember that all of those things are helping me, because right now I want to, maybe for the channel, to create more content for the channel, more useful models, more practical models, more models that you can use every day at your house. I'm learning CAD modeling, a CAD software that is called FreeCAD, trying to create more pieces like stands, phone stands, some things like that, useful pieces. And I want to buy a 3D printer. I found some alternatives, so your support is going to help me a lot to get that. That's why you have different ways here to support the channel. Okay, so that's all for today, friends. In a few minutes we'll continue on Kick, and tomorrow we have YouTube and Twitch. Okay, we'll continue with this project. I want today to start with maybe with a character design. I'm going to try different things until I find a good style for the characters I want to create. I want to start with a character, my avatar, because it's the only idea that I have right now. I don't want to think too much about that. I just want to create something to start testing how many bones I'm going to use, animations, and to apply that later to the other characters that we create for the project. Okay. Yes, that's all. And if you have any suggestion, if you have any feedback, please let me know in the comments, or maybe send me a message also if you want. Thanks for your collaboration, thanks for your help. Please remember to subscribe, and see you in the next one.